How She Owns It, a podcast dedicated to telling the stories of women in business. In each episode, your host, Pauline Malubai, founder of Help Me Pauline and podcast producer, formerly of Google, chat with fellow female CEOs who left their 9-to-5 grind to own their time, own their finances, and own their joy. Listen in as they discuss candidly the challenges of being a business owner and share their hard-earned lessons and wisdom.
Hello, friends. Welcome to How She Owns It, a podcast dedicated to female entrepreneurs and boss moms who left their 9-to-5 to own their time, their finances, and their joy in life by building their own businesses. In this episode, I have Rachel, another coach. So welcome to the show, Rachel. Please tell our listeners your journey so far.
Thank you so much for having me, Pauline. It's a pleasure to be on your show. So my name is Rachel Smets. My journey in a nutshell is that I used to be in corporate and I quit my corporate because I knew there was more to life than this. And if there's one thing, then I do not want a life with regrets. I want to grow old looking back up to my life and thinking, yes, I did what I really wanted to do.
Absolutely.
And while I was still in corporate, I was like, I never thought in a million years this could be possible, but I did, and I created it. And now I just want to share with you guys, how I did this, because I want everyone to live a fulfilled life. That's the main thing for me. It's so sad to be stressed and stuck in a job where you have a lot of passion that you could actually do something with.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. And, I recently left my corporate job, so I can definitely resonate with that feeling of I want to own something. I want to own my own business. Absolutely. Yes. I think, though, that it's easier said than done, of course. And I'm sure that you work with a lot of clients who are stuck in corporate jobs and wanting to leave. So, I help the ones who left their corporate jobs and started their own business and then realized they're stuck in the same old kind of no time, no joy. So I help them with their own, essentially managing their businesses. So from your perspective, how do you encourage or help them get to that point where they're ready to leave?
Totally. And it's really funny because it's for me, my clients they're still in the corporate. They want to build their business, but they just don't know if it's going to work. There's a fear of failure. There's a fear of quitting that comfort zone, because that's the thing. As long as you're in corporate, you have a really nice salary. It's fixed. It's every month the same.
You got your pension, your benefits.
It's easy. Yeah. Exactly. And it's easy. And I was there too. It's easy, especially when you're 40 years old. It's okay, can I really do this? Can I really quit and really do something completely different? What if, what if the worst thing is going to happen? But hey, what if the best thing can happen? Instead of saying what's the worst case scenario, what's the best case scenario? And I would never, ever tell anybody it's easy. And I even go further. I never, ever tell somebody take the leap. And I'm so tired, my light was falling. I'm so tired of people. I was really fed up with people telling me oh, Rachel, follow your heart and follow your passion and do what you love and just take the leap of faith, right? And I'm like, no, I'm not going to jump without a parachute. And I don't want my clients to jump without a parachute.
Yeah.
You have to have a plan. And that's exactly how I help my clients. It's make a plan to transition and then take the steps. And it all starts with the clarity of what it is that you want to do, and then grow that so that at one point you can take the leap. You grow your business and then you said, okay, now I'm ready to quit my job. And so, but as long as you're in that job, it's that comfort bubble. It's easy. And does it need a lot of effort? Yes, it does. Things don't just fall from the sky. People are not just lucky. People are not just, you and I, Paulina, we put in a lot of effort. It's building, it's taking steps, it's, but as long as you have a plan and you have the clarity of what you want to do, you can take the steps towards that. And it takes effort, of course, because actually you're working twice as hard. But if you're passionate about something and you want this to work, it will work.
Absolutely. It is that faith thing. I always get told off by my coaches. They're always like, have faith that, you will get there and everything will turn out all right. But I'm a very practical person. So I'm like, okay, well, that's fine enough. But is the numbers coming in? Am I safe? Can I pay my bills? So it's always, I'm into that, Rachel. Like, I really am that kind of person where it's like, I need a parachute and a second parachute, and if there's another one, even better.
Plan A, B, C. Yeah, okay, yeah, got it.
I love it. So let's talk about, I mean, let's back it out a little bit. And, you know, if someone is in a rut, whether they've started their own business or they're growing it on the side. So I started my business when I was still in corporate, of course, and it was hard. And you know, for people that I help, my clients, where they pursue their passion, they do have a parachute, and then they get overwhelmed and it feels like, oh, I don't even have my time anymore. I'm stuck doing all the admin for the job. I help them with that. But for those who, it's very easy to be stuck in a rut, right? So I've had, like, I was just talking to one of our guests in a previous episode, that I had like a quick kind of self-doubt panic mode, had to like just chill in like my cupboard somewhere, just be like, it's gonna be fine. So it's really easy, have I not allowed myself to have that moment, it's really, really easy to get stuck in a rut, to just be like, you know, I don't know what I'm doing next. I started this company, and then now it's like, it's kind of,
I get it.
And scaling up is always scary. I help my clients with scaling, and there's so much resistance to outsourcing stuff. So what advice would you give for those who are stuck in a rut?
I do have advice, and with regardless what kind of stuckness and how you feel, it always comes down to, you know, can I do this? Like these self-doubts and these inner critics, and am I good enough? And can I do this? And what will other people say? You know, and what if this and what if that, and it's all of that. And it's a lot of, most of it is fear. But the main key point is, all of that comes from here, our thoughts, our mind. And whatever we put in there will become the reality. So the more you tell yourself, I'm not sure, and I'm not good enough, and I can't do that, well, that's what you will get. And for me, I mean, it sounds easy, but your thoughts create your reality. You know, your thoughts create a feeling, and a feeling creates a behavior, and that's an action that you do. And I studied psychology, and it just seems so easy and simple, and in fact it is, but it took me a very long time to really understand that. But here's a big example. When I was still in corporate, I just kept telling people like, oh, you know, I'm a manager, and I am a consultant manager, and then I was a project manager and commercial manager, and I don't really like my job, and I'm doing it, but I'm just, you know, I'm doing this manager job and I don't really like it. And I just kept saying that, but it kept me stuck because I kept repeating the things that I did not like. Right? And it's that language in my mind that kept me stuck. So the more you tell yourself the same story, like, I don't know how to get out of here, and I'm stuck, and I'm not good enough, and I can't do this, and there's another way out. Maybe I should go back and find another job, you know, with your clients. Like, how many are there? Like, oh, you know, maybe I'm not good enough to be an entrepreneur. Maybe I should go back into a job. No, the moment I started, and was my shift, the moment I realized, like, wait a minute, what language am I talking to myself? What thoughts am I putting in there? And then I started changing it into my dream life. What is it that I wanted? It was freedom, it was traveling the world, and it was having and being my own boss. So what I started telling myself and telling other people, and I did that. I literally did. When people that didn't know me, like, hey, Rachel, what do you do? I'm like, you know, I love traveling the world, and I'm growing on YouTube, and I'm actually a real entrepreneur, because I was not lying. I was all those things, although it wasn't really happening yet, and I wasn't growing yet, and I wasn't being, you know, a successful entrepreneur yet. But that was my dream goal. And I started changing that language, and I started telling that. And the way you say all of those things that you really want, you know, not where you don't want, but what you do want, the more you repeat that, the more energy you put out in there, and the more opportunities you attract in that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Are you a big manifester? I've just started.
Actually, that's it. I didn't realize that was the manifesting, but I did it, and now I'm like, hey, I was actually manifesting.
Right? Yeah, people think that manifestation is this woo-woo subject and all of that, but there is like science behind this, like and it's really great. I've just started to do it now. Some of my clients are are coaches, and they do manifestation and in their podcast as well, and and they have courses. So I've gotten kind of into it, and it is very powerful. I really have to force myself to journal every day, listen to like guided manifestations, and it does work. Like I think more than anything, it gives you that big boost kind of thing.
But it worked. And it took, for me too, it was like in the beginning, it was like, listening to podcasts, listening to videos and Abraham Hicks and all of that. And, and I started with the book, Ask and You Shall Receive. And that's the thing, you ask something, you put it out there in the universe, you talk about it, you get that vibration, you get the feeling, and it just happens.
Yeah.
So what I would advise to everybody watching and listening is like, when you try it, like literally when you're stuck, instead of thinking I'm stuck, start thinking about what you want to achieve and start saying that, like, I want to be an entrepreneur, I want to be successful, I want to love what I do. Start saying that. The moment you hear yourself saying, I'm stuck, I don't know anymore, I'm not good enough, the moment you hear yourself say that, like, be an observer of your thoughts, shift it. And it's daily practice for me too, for you too. I still do it daily, but I'm getting so good at it. It's like on a daily basis, I shift all the time. It's like a little inner critic, oh, shut up. No, I want to move forward. I want to do this. I want to succeed. When I started my YouTube, just, like when you started your podcast, I mean, how many people are like, really? There's so many podcasters, are there? So many YouTubers, are there? Are you going to succeed? Yes, we are. You are. I am. If we don't believe in it, we shouldn't, what happens then? You don't do anything and you stay stuck. It's absolutely that simple.
I'm so glad you didn't listen to that, because your YouTube channel, I was telling Rachel before we recorded that her YouTube channel is awesome and she's doing such a great job with it. I really, really like it. So check it out if you want to hear her in person do the thing that she does best. Brilliant. So you've got the clarity, got out of the rut. I love, because I know you have a course called Unstoppable Confidence. So tell us a little bit more about that, and how do we show up with confidence? Because I honestly believe, and this is something I'm learning with my own coaching, is that when you get into sales call and you're pitching, people get that energy off of you. And if you don't come from a confident, kind of abundant manner or mindset, it really shows. You don't think it does because the words are not saying it, but the energy somehow translates. So can you give us a little bit? I'm sure a lot of our listeners are pitching themselves.
Yeah, confidence is something when I work with clients, and the same goes for you, Paulina, is like, confidence is always a part of it. Always, because even, I work with sometimes CEOs and directors and people with high, level titles and all of that, but there's always areas where we feel very confident in, and there's always areas where we don't. And what I've learned with confidence, and which is why I wrote a book and made a course about it, is because I used to be shy myself, and I had like zero confidence. Like I was like in the back of the class, not, really afraid of what other people think of me, afraid of speaking up, afraid of, oh my gosh, what if I say something and they're all going to start laughing? Or when somebody laughed in the street, I thought, and
YouTube star.
And then I was standing on a stage doing TEDx talks. I mean, but so I'm the proof that, and I'm not kidding you, I used to be really that little shy girl who didn't speak up. But it's what I've learned from interviewing so many people that are successful, that those people like, oh, they have it all, they're so lucky and they're so successful. When I interviewed them and went really deep in conversations, they all said the same thing. I had to learn to grow my confidence. And so the main point is that nobody's born with confidence. It's a skill that you have to learn. Just like you cannot go to the gym once and come out all muscled and toned. You have to go back and practice and practice and practice. And
it's
that
a
means
muscle.
Exactly. And confidence is the same thing. And so in my book, there is 11 confidence hacks. In my course, I talk about it too. There's overcoming the fear, there's taking action, there's repeating it. It's the self-love as well that we talked about. It's that, believing in yourself, loving yourself, but it's daily practice. And if I can take out one of the 11 hacks, I'm going to just mention one. That is, surround yourself with the right kind of people. And what do I mean by that? It was a big shift for me, because when I wanted to change and when I wanted to quit my corporate, and I was listening to my family and their loved ones, what are they doing? They try to keep you safe. They push you back in that comfort bubble. You're good, Rachel. You're earning money. You're being successful. It's good. Stay where you are. But it wasn't making me happy. I was stressed. I was miserable. I was, burning out. I had stomach aches every day. So when you want to change, go and find people that are doing what you do.
Absolutely.
Go and find a mentor, go and find a coach, go and listen to those people who are doing what you do, because they will pull you up out of your comfort zone and make you do what you want to do.
Absolutely. I agree with that. Community is so important. You know, I honestly think that you shouldn't really listen to everyone's opinion, especially the ones that, you know, that doesn't understand, especially when you're working in the online world. I always try to explain to my friends what I do, and they're like, well, what is that? It sounds made up. But, you know, it's because they don't understand it. It's not a lawyer, engineer, a consultant, an investment banker job. So definitely, like, be careful about who you're listening to.
Not everybody has to understand.
Yeah,
I want to be with people who do understand.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Yeah, I think it's also like making sure that you listen to the right people, and building up and this is the reason I've got a Facebook group with this podcast, because I wanted to really build that community that people can discuss. So someone could be listening to this thinking, oh, Rachel's really, like, she's on it, I want to talk to someone about it, you know, and you go to the Facebook group and you just reach out and comment like, oh, who listened to Rachel's episode, you know, this and this and this. So I think it's so important, and there's so many avenues that you can find these communities. There's a wealth of resources online. You can be friends with someone in Australia, in US, in Indonesia. My team is remote, you know, so it's amazing. And I think it's all about just finding the right fit for you.
Yes. Yeah. And that's why I created a course, Escape Your 9 to 5, you know, with all the steps, like, first of all, figure out what it is that you want. First of all, the clarity, then making the decision, then overcoming all those fears, you know, growing that confidence muscle. And then that's the whole plan. That's the whole parachute. And then you can quit. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I love it. Planned freedom.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So just to wrap up, Rachel, where can people find you?
That's easy. If you can spell my name, Rachel Smets, S-M-E-T-S, you can find my website, rachelsmets.com. You can type it into YouTube and find my YouTubes. Below all my YouTubes is also all my links. You can find me on Facebook, LinkedIn. Just type my name and message me. And, you know, if you're stuck in a rut and you want to talk and you want to have a clarity on your next step, I'm really, really happy to help. Really, I am.
Amazing. We'll put everything in the show notes, and Rachel's also part of the Facebook group, so she'll be around there mingling. Thank you so much.
Oh, and by the way, I have this, sorry to interrupt you, but there's also, you're going to post that link for
there's a freebie.
7 steps. Yeah, 7 steps to get unstuck. I was almost forgetting about it. So yeah, 7 steps to get unstuck. It's a tutorial, it's a video, it's free. Just grab that, and that'll definitely, you know, get you unstuck, and then you can go and grow and create more.
Definitely. Thank you so much. I love indulging my listeners. So here's another gift to you all. Thank you so much for being on the show, Rachel.
I love it. And I'll be sharing it around because this was awesome. Thank you so much.